I welcome you to today's webinar on how to prepare for an online examination. And today, one of our guest speakers is around and he's going to tell us how to prepare for an online examination. So I want you to listen attentively and make sure you get the best. You also have opportunity to ask questions from the chat session. The name of our speaker is Dr. I.B. Oluwafemi. So it's going to come up now. Welcome you, then the meeting will start. Thank you for listening. But if you are new here, I want you to make sure that you subscribe to this channel. And apart from subscribing, you share with your other friends. Then you also like this channel. Thank you. Happy listening.
Okay, thank you. I want to welcome you all to this class. I'm talking to you on preparation for online examinations. Now, just as a matter of introduction, online examinations is also referred to as e-examinations, and they are examinations that are conducted through the internet or in an intranet within the organization or institution for a remote student or students. Well, it's the online examination system is technological driven, a way to simplify examination activities, and it's defining different types of examination patterns. Having exam timer, different types of questions, and using different types of devices to conduct examination. Yeah, online exams can come in a variety of formats. You can have multiple choice, maybe from scale A to E. You are asked to pick an option, and it can come in terms of short answers or essay or oral examinations. Exams questions may be presented, in online examination either in a web page or different web page. They where in some of the online exams you may be required to submit answer even before proceeding to the next question. While in some you might be asked actually to submit your results at the end of the whole examination. Now, online examinations has a lot of benefits over the contemporary paper examinations. There is reduction in terms of logistics. We have accessibility to remote areas. Like now, we have the COVID-19 lockdown. People are scattered over the country, and institutions might still want to conduct exams. And so, online exams now comes into being because it can reach remote areas. Then it's also scalable. You can have an exam for 5 people, 1,000 people, 5,000 people, and it supports all types of content. Maybe one word answer, multiple answer, essay, or things like that. And well, online exams that an advanced way of combating cheating during examination. And in some of the online examination, you can actually have your result given unto you immediately after submission of the end of the exam. So I show you a comparison between the pen and paper exams and the age of online examinations here. In the case of paper and pen, it's quite expensive. You have to buy answer booklet, print questions. While for online, you don't need to print questions, it's just one typed, and all over the world you can actually see the question. Then pen and paper exams have geographical limitations. While for online exams, it can reach any part of the globe in as much as there is internet access. And for pen and paper, huge turnaround time. You understand managing venues and managing times, morning paper, evening time, and things like that. But in the case of online exams, I read time analytical report. And yeah, as I said before, yeah, we for offline examination, you have to bring in a lot of invigilators to curb cheating, check the calculator, check the body of the student and things like that. But in the case of online exams, such are reduced as a result of technological advancement. Now, when we talk about online exams, I was talking about preparation for online exams, as we are anticipating because of the lockdown that institution might likely come up with conducting examination for their students that are locked down in the various states of the country. Yeah, what are the preparations you need to make? The first and the topmost of it is the location where you actually want to take the examination. Yeah, is it you want to take it in your house, or you want to have it done in a business center where you have internet access? Then the room where you want to have it, lighting system, you have to consider all of those things, and there's no heat, the temperature. Then yeah, your seating arrangement, the table and the desks, must be the one that can support you conveniently for the whole duration of the examination. And yeah, other issues are where you put your notes and materials, if you are allowed to actually do. Also is a place that is immune to noise and distractions. So that it's not that you have in a place that there's heavy traffic and the noise of the traffic are actually distracting your attention. Now, again, on location is during the exams, strongly advise you turn off all of your instant messengers, then your phones, your emails, and all of those things. Shut off TVs and radios. And it's be very needful if you could actually inform your family members or your roommate that you are taking an exam, so that they will not have the tendency of coming to disrupt you or to distract you from being focused during the examination. And as part of the preparation is your equipment and the materials that you actually want to use for the examinations. You have to check your technical equipment, right, far before the day. Be sure you have internet access, not ordinary internet access or strong internet access. And if the one that will involve voice and video, check your microphones and the webcams and the speakers. And I want to suggest very strongly that you can actually have a Wi-Fi or MiFi and have two or three, so that if it breaks down, then you'll be able to switch to the other network. So play redundancies in terms of the materials. So check your computers, ensure they are working very well, correctly, and all the softwares that you need to have within them, you sure that they are installed and they are working properly. And you avoid last minute problems. Whether you're using your own computers or in the lab, you should be very sure the hardwares are working, the software, they are actually well updated and they're suitable for the exams that you want to actually take. Then part of preparation is also follow any instruction that are provided to you about the online exam. You got to follow them very strictly and be very clear about what you need to do to complete the exams. You might want to ask questions even before the day of exam to make sure that you are adequately equipped for the exams. And if there is any practical activity that will be involved, you might want to practice this one, so that you'll be able to gain some level of confidence on usage of softwares and following the specific exam procedures. Part of preparation is also that if you cannot find these instructions in your course outline, you might wish to contact your teaching styles, your instructors, so that you get clear direction about what and what to actually do. And again, ask questions from your instructors in case of technical problems, breakdowns of laptops and things like that. You actually need to ask your instructor what you need to do in such a situation. And again, you need to gather all you need to do to take the test. So if the exam permits you to check into your check into your notes, get them beside you in an appropriate place where you can actually have access to them. Then part of preparation is that from now you can start practicing usage of laptops. Not that you want to type same and it's taking you some 5 minutes to type SAME. Get used to it, handling computer, the shortcut and things like that, and it will help you to manage your time faster than people that are just learning. So try going to practicing of using your laptops or your desktop or your computers in general. Again, part of preparation is for you to actually have solid grasp of the course content. Then you read your books, read your notes, and read all the other resources that are given to you, so that you have a grasp, two grips and grasp of the course, so that whichever way it comes to you, the question, you'll be able to give the right answer. Then why you're doing the exams, now you want to wait till the whole page that you are maybe where you're answering the question is fully loaded, because if you're answering at the mid of the loading of the page, some features might be missing. And so wait for the time for the whole page to be loaded before you answer the question. And again, this illustrates the fact that you need a fast internet system, not the one that is moving at the pace of a snail. And so there must be patience. And if you are write an incomplete paper, your performance will be affected. And so wait for the page to be loaded before you answer the question. Then if there's a possibility of you taking online mock tests, so that you get acclimatized and used to online exams, that will actually help you very greatly, because the place of experience. And so try mock exams, and so that you're able to have an understanding on how to navigate your way during online exams. Not only that, is to you read the instruction very consciously, very very consciously, and a lot of symbols very, very, very well, and instructions that are given to you during the exam. Then I want to again talk to you about why you writing exam. Try clicking save at every attempt. Anything can happen to the laptop or to the desktop or to the internet. But once your answers have been saved, then you can be sure you have some level of security. And so if the system does not save your answer automatically, yeah, your questions might remain unattempted. And in case of making changes to answer, be careful. Click the save button once you are done. So have that one at the back of your mind, that each time you finish one page, once the save button is there, try and save. And again, there might be accidental quitting of a page, and in such a case, try and contact the instructor. And it might be needful for you before the start of the exam to have the contact number of the instructor, so that in case of issues, you'll be able to call for guidance. And at times, candidates end up accidentally quitting the test. One should instantly get in touch in such a situation with the instructor and seek help immediately. And if you are writing the exam from home, keep the helpline number handy, so that easily you can contact the instructor for guidance. They do not get upset in case of technical glitch. This is natural. Your BP might want to rise, and fear and panicking and anxiety, but relax. In as much as you have the contact number, of your instructor, so it can happen to anyone at any time. When in such a situation, be calm and do not panic. Take the necessary steps to look for help, because panicking will never do you any help, but rather will further affect you. And again, writing the exam, I think, have a strategic approach. By what I mean is, prepare the one to answer the questions. Look at the sessions of the question, look at the marks allocated. You don't waste all your time in a question that you understand very well, but the mark that is attracting is just 1 mark. While you have other questions that are attracting 20 marks, and you're just spending less time on them. So have a strategic, approach. Sessions of the people to be attended first, to keep for later should be predetermined. And if you are getting to a question you don't understand it perfectly, you might want to move to other one. Later you can come back to the one that you have not been able to attempt. Then set deadline for each question, the time allocation. Okay, for obviously the vigilator is not there with you. It's not there to tell you that it's 5 minutes more, 20 minutes. So you have to have a timer, or watch the timer that are set for you, so that you'll be able to know how to run down the whole exam without having to be stopped in the middle of the way. So set the time and allocate time for each of the question, and make sure that you follow them very, very strictly. Keep also time to revise the paper. You might have the last 5 minutes or the last 10 minutes that you reserve for checking from question one down to the last question, to check through where there are omissions, where there are errors, where there are typos, so that you'll be able to correct them, and they will not affect your grading at the end of the day. Again, is that if this one is permitted, by the instructor, you might have your questions and the answer printed, at the end of the exam. Because anything can actually happen between submitting and clicking submit and the opening. So there will be an evidence for you that you actually did the exam, but there are problems along the way. And if also allowed by the instructor, yeah, you can first type. If it's an essay question, my brother, open your Microsoft Word, type your essay, read over and over again, then copy and paste, then you submit. That will help you to avoid all sorts of errors that are accompanied with online exam. Then I say this, that don't leave the test page. That is, if you are permitted to search the web or check other website for information, don't use the same tab, or copy of the browser as you do for your exam, because in that case you might have lost the whole work. It's better to, if you want to search to Google to search for more information, use other browser. Say for instance you are using Internet Explorer for the exam, then you can use Firefox, you can use Google Chrome, so that you're sure your work is still there, not leaving or navigating away from the exam page. Then again, I need to say this, that you must abide by the principle of academic integrity. Even though the vigilator not there with you, you don't impersonate and you don't allow other people to come and write the exam for you. So understand your university academic integrity policy and be aware of what is permitted for that exam and what is not forbidden for that exam. And so do yourself a favor, close all social media, turn off your phone, don't be tempted. Show what you know and learn from what you don't, because all of these exams is just a process, they are not destination in life. And then finally, before I close, you should not forget to submit your result, whatever you have done, because some students will just leave the page and they felt they are done and they just stand up. They will not click submit, and the implication of this is that they are not done the exam. And so you should do this once, okay? Click submit once and make sure that it goes through. Except there's a problem that you might want to click submit. And so, but ensure that you submit your answer before you leave the examination, because that is the only thing that can guarantee you result at the end of the examination hall. I want to appreciate you for listening to this short talk on preparation for online examination. I want to wish you well. I wish you good success in your examination. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for uh, thank you for listening. So we're going to have another speaker, and another speaker will be coming up right now, and is going to speak to us on. Is going to speak on how to prepare for online examination. So I thank you, Dr. Oluwafemi, for your approach to teaching this aspect very well. I hope students at home or learners at home are listening to the, and you can always go back to watch again. So because this thing, the purpose of bringing it up is to make sure that you pass your examination very well. So we're going to bring in another speaker, and is another speaker to come up to tell us how to prepare for the online exam.
Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello, admin?
You can go ahead. You are free to speak now. We are waiting for you to come up for your topic, writing online exam.
Hello? Hello, good afternoon. Good. Hello, can someone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Get the key to the office.
We can hear you. You can come
Hello,
up.
can somebody hear me?
Yes, come up and talk.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very, very much.
Takes a lot of tactics, and you need to know some of these things if you are going to do excellently in writing exams. Now, when you look at it to start with, you understand that online exams, there are reasons for online exams. And one of the major reasons we write online exams is to help both the school and the students. For instance, online exam is an exam you take, through the computer. And not just any computer, but you know that it has to be a computer that is connected to the internet. And online exam is an exam you conduct, of course, online, in which you use, you want to measure the knowledge of the students on a given topic, a given field. Sometimes organizations also use online exams. Now, looking at the reasons why we do this, the teacher wants to evaluate you, and then in this sense, the kind of evaluation, it's the one that is done effortlessly because the use of online exam simplifies the testing and evaluation of students, of workers, and of prospective staffers of an organization. Not only that, you find out that online exam saves time, online exam saves money. Now, this mode of testing is cheaper, when you compare to paper, invigilation, and the rest of it. Not only that, you have improved security. In this sense, nobody's talking about cheating or no cheating. It's a little bit difficult to even cheat when it comes to online examinations because the security is a little more improved compared to paper-based exams. Now, online exams also save the environment because when you look at the environment, you're talking about uh, pollution, paper pollution, and the rest. Of course, there could be a kind of carbon footprint when it comes to that, but we're not looking at that today. It could be for another discussion in which we look at the carbon footprint of online examinations. What does it cost the community? What does it cost the nation? What does it cost the world? Is for another time. Now, let's move on to talking about uh, uh, before you write exams. What do you need to do if you want to write exams? One of the things you need to do is to plan your time. Planning your time goes a very long way if you have to do online examination. Now, nothing kills as fast as zero planning skills. And when you say zero planning, that means you don't plan at all. Time should be set aside to prepare for any examination, no matter how simple or how small. And I bet you 6 months is not too small. You need to set out how to read and how do you combine this reading with other schedules in your life. Because as you look at yourself, of course, it's possible you're a single parent, it's possible you are a student living with your parents, or you're a student in the school, or you are working, blah, blah, blah. You have a lot of things. How do you plan the preparation for this exam with your time and things your life attracts? Another thing is study materials. Do you know that before you begin to think of online exams, you need to look at it. What study materials do I need? Now, some organizations, schools, evaluation bodies, testing bodies, they could have materials. They have materials already, e-materials, e-learning materials that they must have put in the library, or they must have put on your dashboard or wherever, just for you to be able to study. So you need to be able to gather all of these things and make sure you study them because they're very important. So you don't need to underestimate the power of these tools. Most of the time, the questions for the exams are extracted from these materials. Another thing is you need to test yourself. Have you tested yourself before on the exams you want to take? Now, there are times in which the exams you want to take they are already, there are pre-test, on it. And then after each section, you find the examiner giving you a few questions to test yourself from. So you can make use of this, a very good one. Then another thing is you need to determine when you want to take this test. And what do I mean? There are a number of online exams that will tell you when do you want to take the test, because this is one of the and I mean things you enjoy on online exams. You're at liberty to say, okay, I want to write my exams in the morning, I want to write in the afternoon, I want to write next week, because the test is always there, except for tests that the teacher has decided that you don't, he is the one determining when you write the exam, not you. There are some exams like that you cannot determine when you write it, but the examination body. For instance, if you are writing TOEFL, or you are writing IELTS, or you are writing some other examinations like that, you find out that the organization in charge of that would have determined how you want to write the exam. So that becomes very important. Another thing is you look out for the syllabus. That's very important. That's very important. Don't forget the syllabus. Don't forget the test guide. Look out for that. Then know the format of the exam. How many parts is it divided into, and so on and so forth. Okay, let me move on to this other one, talking about relating relationship. Now relationship matter in everything we do. Relationship goes a very long way. And what do I mean? Relationship with teachers, relationship with the examiner, relationship with co-students from across the world, as many of them that you can see. Why not have a very good relationship with them, discuss, chat, have a good rapport with them, and you'll find out that it's going to help you. Another thing is you ask questions from tutors while studying. Do you ask questions from them? Do you use the instant messenger, the WhatsApp, Weibo, Facebook Messenger, so on and so forth? Chat with your tutors. And then do you consult with graduated students from that class? Because, from that particular exam, you'll find out sometimes that there are students that have graduated from that particular exam. They've taken the exams and they are certificated already. Take time to relate with them. How about looking out for extra study materials? Very important, very important. Look out for related study material. Materials on that field in which you want to be examined on. Then, as you study, do you take care of yourself? Some people will say, "No, I don't even bath. I don't even bother to to exercise." You have to take exercise seriously also. When you sit too much, you get into fatigue. Try and move around, exercise, jog around, come back. And then I must talk about rest. In mentioning about rest, I've seen people who go reading, and after reading and reading, they run into problem, psychological problem, somatic problem. Their system just goes, something just goes wrong with their system, and they can't help themselves again. That's dangerous for you. So what you're supposed to do in this sense is you need to go ahead and rest. If you're ever determined to take what do you call it, vigil on reading for 1 or 2 days, I encourage you, go and rest. Rest is very important. Now let's move to the next point, talking about online exams when writing. What are you supposed to do when you are writing online exam? What are you supposed to do when you are writing? What are you supposed to do? There are a lot of things that is expected of you when you are writing. Now, one of those things is find a good location to take the test. Yeah, a good location to take the test is very, very, very important. A good location to take the test. When you're writing, you see, just like this, the time I'm about taking this class, I found out that the place I was, the connection was bad. I have to move to another location. The same for you. When you're writing online tests, online exams, find a good location to take the test. Online tests could be taken anywhere, on any portable device, on computers, on your iPad and your tablets and your phone and so on and so forth. So choose it, and then you choose a convenient spot for yourself. You need a convenient spot for yourself as you look at taking what you are taking. A convenient spot for yourself will be very important, especially if there is no specific center to take the exam. Now, I know of some places they will tell you we have the exam hall, that you have the computers and they have been preloaded. In that case, you don't need to be thinking about you going about again. You just go to that center and get it done. Now, another thing when writing exam online is you make sure your computer is good. Make sure your computer is good. And how do you do that? By making sure the battery is okay, for instance, by making sure the screen is fine, by making sure the touch screen is still working fine, by making sure that the audio, because sometimes you might need audio to play some things, or some things is being played to your hearing. So that means you want to be sure all of these are okay. So check your computer for faults, your laptop, your MacBook, your whatever that you have to use for the exam. Check and be sure it's okay. Another thing is internet connection must be ascertained. Internet connection must be ascertained. Now, some would say they want to take exams and they will not be sure their internet connection is fine. If your internet connection is not fine, you might be having problems. You might be submitting an exam that is not submitted, because after the examination, I mean, during the examination, as you click, you just find out that you have to be clicking and clicking and clicking. And if you are clicking and you are not connected, you're in trouble. So that will not help you. Not only this, you also look at internet connection must be ascertained. I mean, I've spoken about that. You make sure you also understand the test guidelines. This is important, because you need these guidelines as you read, because they are what you need when you are writing. Sometimes the test guideline been given before gives you I mean, it helps you to be smart anyway. That is what I would need to say. Another thing is you need to practice good time management. While taking the test, know the amount of question to be attempted. I mean, then you have to look at it. Is it, for instance, an 100 question multiple choice? You have to look at it. Is this, how many minutes is this for? Is it for 45 minutes? Is it for 50 minutes? Is it for 60 minutes? Now you quickly calculate how many seconds shall I spend on each of the questions. And that is, you have to be smart about time. And not only that, you have to use logic when taking tests. What do I mean by that? This includes not necessarily answering questions in order of numbering. Have done exams online before in which I can answer number 1 and go to number 50. If I found out that the set of questions before me are not easy for me as at that time, I jump to number 4, number 7, number whatever, and then come back. It's allowed. You have to be logical when you're answering such questions. Not only that, you keep track of your time. You have to keep track of the time. There is always a timer. There is always a timer with you whenever you are writing an exam. Always a timer. So keep track of that timer. Just keep looking at the timer and work on that. Once you are constantly looking at that, as the time ticks, you find out that you are taking the right answer. I'm going to conclude on this note. And what am I going to tell you as I conclude? Writing examinations can sometimes be dreadful. I must be sincere with you, especially when you do not prepare. But sometimes when you've prepared, it can be dreadful too. Do you know? Because you are afraid of the unknown. Maybe people don't pass it, and then you are scared. Look at somebody writing this medical exam in the UK, and you are scared and say, oh, so many Nigerians fail, or so many Indians fail, or so many Ghanaians have failed. It doesn't matter. That doesn't mean you will fail. So you need to understand that writing examination online is majorly an issue of the mind. Get a mindset that wants to pass. It doesn't matter how many persons have failed, but some people have also passed. So you make up your mind, I am going to pass, and you are going to pass. Now, another thing I want you to look into as I conclude is, if you feel fearful along the line, just stop for a few moments. Take deep breaths. It could be 5, it could be 10. Take deep breath. Count 1 to 5. Count 1 to 10. Talk to yourself. Say, Ayo, I'm going to pass this exam. Yes, just tell yourself like that. Ayo is my name. You call your name and say, I'm going to pass this exam. And I tell you, you can do it. Finally, focus. 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 And before you know it, you are at the center of your success. I'm happy you are able to pick one or two things from what we've discussed this hour. I want to encourage you that on the next slide, the next broadcast, I would like to see you, and then we'll be able to have some discussions. I don't know if you have some questions, you can leave.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the well thought out presentation. And I want to believe that the students out there have learned a great deal on what has been taught. And we want you to subscribe to the channel. So another, when we are having another event, we're able to tell you about it. Thank you very much. God bless you. So, God bless you. God bless you. Thank you.